Ladies and gents and the rest, that's me, your orange friend. I know I look orange because of my lighting, it's so stupid, but whenever I take off my hoodie, my skin turns orange instead of white. But I mean, now I hope nobody cares. Like, think about it as a skin that you get in Heroic Siege, right? It's not funny. Never mind. So, today I'm going to show you the deck that you should play until Gold Rush ends, which is 3 days. Like for the next 3 days, and tomorrow I'll be practicing Arthas, and we will see if maybe tomorrow I'll give you the Arthas deck, but today it's pretty much the same YSERA deck. But before we get to the deck, let's take a look at the modifiers. Dragon Towers, range units are super strong, melee units are super weak. Gold Rush, double gold, and nothing, right? This is just no modifier. So for that, we're going to be using... Who could have thought? YSERA with this idiotic combo. But it works. It works easily. It only has one downside. Everything else is beautiful and great about this deck. So, I'm going to tell you right away, the problem with this deck is Malfurion. Malfurion, obviously, assuming that he knows what he's doing, he doesn't make any mistakes, he is a hard counter for you. Everybody else is not a problem. So basically, what we're doing is we use Troll and Dryad to attack the core or any structure, and everything else just supports that because we have YSERA, we have Whelps that counter enemies' Ancients of War, and we have Slip, and we have tons of other assets to protect our Troll. So we're going to be using Polymorph to kill things, this is not double duration, right? This is just a gold polymorph. But you can use Explosion if you want. I just didn't need that ever. And then we're using a Deep Breath with any talent. I mean, Melting Point, Attunement, or nothing. Don't use Double Dragon, all right? Yes, Deep Breath is trash compared to what it used to be. However, if you polymorph things and you Deep Breath them, it works really well. And also, if you Deep Breath, you can cast it from the Ancient of War, right? You don't need to, because it has a long range. That's why we're using that. Drop in Ancient of War ourselves, because we're assholes too, right? So we drop Ancient of War, we send our Troll with the Dryad to take the tower, to take the core, and then everything else is just support pretty much. All right, I'm going to start with the bad news right away, right? Like I said, the hard counter for you is Malfurion, so this is going to be the game versus Malfurion. And I'll show you what happens when you get Malfurion. Basically, we drop in spiders to get the chests and start, fighting for the chests. We're dropping our Alpha Males combo. So the Troll runs forward. However, we didn't need, honestly, I should have turned left to get the tower so that we could get access to the enemy's Ancient of War. But yeah, you see what happened? Because of the seeds, the Troll hits few times, doesn't do any damage at all. So my second Troll goes actually to the enemy's Ancient of War. And I already have, you see this? I already have Whelps, yeah, like this. I dropped them like an idiot, that's why Ancient of War survived. And even if you do damage to Ancient of War but you don't kill it, this is the worst part, because Ancient of War is going to get healed by a passive Malfurion's healed, right? So that is very, very bad for us. And at this point, I mean, it's going to be really hard to beat that, because all of that, I cannot, the only way to kill that for me is I have to polymorph this pile and Deep Breath that. But because Ancient of War is alive, and not only it's alive, it also healed itself, right? And it will heal itself as soon as you lower its HP. I cannot use polymorph, I cannot use Deep Breath to kill these things, and that's why my core got damaged. As you can see, I have 2 slips, but I cannot use them because the freaking Ancient of War is still alive. My Green Drake is doing what he can, but doesn't work. As you can see, I tried to do a little bit of damage to this Chimera, but again, I'm trying to polymorph that, but it's not gonna really do much. Oh man, the Chimera got shielded. At this point, it's unwinnable, like I said, because it's really hard to play versus Malfurions. Seeds protect from your trolls, and the Ancient of War can be protected by a lot of things because of Malfurion's heal and da 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 da, right? So that's why the your best map versus Malfurion and in general, it's Alterac Valley. This is not Alterac Valley. That's why this is what's happening, right? But not everybody plays Malfurion. I'll be honest. I've seen like, I haven't seen like maybe like 10% out of everybody were Malfurions. Okay, so that is what not to play against. All right, this is Rend. This is the best Rend that I've seen today. People play Rend as well right now. Here's what's gonna happen. We're going to start the same way. Yoink. And then I'm dropping the Drake because I want to start getting I want to get to my whelps, YSERA's whelps as fast as possible because I know there's going to be Ancient of War, and to kill Ancient of War I need whelps and polymorph, right? You drop them on the Ancient of War and they kill it really, really quickly. That's why I didn't drop Dryad right away. Now the next step should be dropping Ancient of War myself. But I thought it wasn't a big deal, and that's why, and it wasn't a big deal. All of that would have died anyway. Yeah. So now I'm gonna use my there we go. You see this? I'm gonna try to kill Ancient of War. It's really hard because your elves are gonna be between two towers, but you know, keep killing it. I thought it was gonna die itself, but it wasn't. Trying to slip it, bam. Ancient of War with like a 1 HP, but it's still alive. A drop in spiders, so they do a little bit of damage. Stun, da 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 da. But Ancient of War is still alive, by the way. Still alive, still alive, still alive. I'm going to try to, I'm going to deep breath that. So my troll made it and damaged the core a little bit. And after 2 deep breaths, we did do a little bit of damage to his core. So at some point, new Ancient of War, ladies and gents. Exactly what I told you, right? And I, for some reason, don't spawn Ancient of War because I'm being pushed from all the sides and I'm trying to use gold to protect myself, right? So our one more troll made it to the core, and trying to do a little bit of damage. Polymorph things, deep breath things, and our troll damages the core a little bit. So at this point, we don't need to push anymore. I'm gonna spend all my effort to defend. And feel free to use Troll as a tank, because he cannot damage ground units, but he can tank. He has a lot of HP, and you should be fine. Trying to not, to protect my core, I mean, like I said, as much as possible, because all we need to do is just, I don't know, it's already overtime. We need to last less than 50 seconds, and we're gonna win. And he knows it as well, and that's why he's pushing like a madman. And I mean, it's very self-explanatory. Like all you have to do is like protect this little zone around your core, right? And that's it. You keep rotating towers, and he will keep rotating it back, and you just, like I said, you have to last and not die. And after that, you're gonna be fine. And he has Ancient of War. That's why my spells are kind of useless. That's why I'm trying to get to just to spawn trolls, because trolls are really, they take forever to kill unless you have Execute. I don't think he has Execute, right? And this is how you win. It looks like you barely won, but I barely won. But this is a pretty strong player, right? So not all of them play like that, and you don't always get this map. I mean, all these things don't often match together, right? All right, our second game, or the third game, is going to be versus Doomhammer. Doomhammer is very dangerous because he has Magora that stops our trolls like that. That's why we're gonna watch the game versus Doomhammer. Again, this is the best Doomhammer that I've seen today. So we're just cycling, and we're getting our Alpha Males combo, dropping the troll. I should have had, yes, this thing here, boom. I'm trying to put asleep everybody, boom, but for some reason it didn't work on Doomhammer. That's why I had to polymorph. And when you polymorph Doomhammer after the nerf, Magora goes away. And I think when Doomhammer wakes up from polymorph, our troll is going to be dead, so he will have nobody to Magora, right? And this green Drake is extremely powerful because it's resistant, and it can only be killed by like things like, you know, Dark Spear trolls. Yeah, drop in these whelps, like exactly, polymorphing them, dropping whelps like that, killing this Doomhammer so he doesn't Makura our troll. Ideally, we should have polymorph, but we just used it because for the for this new uh, Doomhammer, that we couldn't counter him. That's why he took our troll. But this troll, I mean, he's dying already. So we drop spiders. He charges, yeah, and it's actually uh, increases his movement speed, kind of, right? But that's me. Hello. Okay, our troll gets executed because we didn't have Ancient of War. But again, the exact same strategy. If it's too hard to win, as long as you know get his score to 50% HP, just stay at the base and just defend, defend, defend. Now he's gonna take your tower, and you're gonna take it back right away. And your tower at this point will work as the um, tank as well. It will tank for you. Shoo! So we have two resistant drakes that are really, really hard to counter. And see this? He is trying to take our left Swole Troll, but that Swole Troll was not, that doesn't have a high movement speed. That's why even if he does take it, first of all, it takes forever, as you can see. But if he does take it, it's too slow. It's going to die before it gets to our core, so we have nothing to worry about. Taking his core. No, sorry, taking his tower, but at this point, yeah, you can't really win. So Doomhammer is no longer that powerful. However, it's still dangerous because he can Makura your trolls, and your trolls are the only way to damage his core, right? And as you can see, that's the game. So don't try to kill his core. Sometimes you just need to defend. And that's pretty much how to play this deck. I mean, you've probably seen that a million times with other modifiers, but it works right now. And the less changes we have, the better. I'm not here to show you some off-meta decks, just for points only, right? Get as much points as you can and wait until new modifier starts, and then we'll figure out something new, or we're going to use the exact same deck, all right? That's all.